Due to our creation according to the image of God, we humans have an innate desire for the infinite self-expansion and perpetuation of divine life. However, whenever we attempt to have these desires satisfied by finite ends, it leads to frustration of our desires, greater anxiety, and ultimately death. We cannot save ourselves, nor can any finite telos save us, whether a sinful passion or a conditional good. If we set them up as the aim of our lives, we die along with the finite ends we have chosen. This is the universal condition of man without Christ. Even the proto-righteous of the Old Testament could not transcend death, no matter how much they despised their bonds. Christ, through the mysteries of the Church, provides the perfect and only way to set us free from the deceitful activity of sense perception. Christ intermingles his infinite life with our finite life at every level of our person, thus incorporating what is essential to us into himself. Everything in the mystagogical life of the Church symbolizes and facilitates this transference of the infinite energy of God into our finitude. Kabbasalos' theanthropic vision consists of our unification with Christ at every level of our existence, both those levels we can and cannot articulate in speech and understand through earthly metaphors. In Christ, our intellectual, spiritual, and physical needs are met without remainder in one source. He is the hero who conquers and the slave who is scourged. He is the offering, the one who offers, and the one to whom this offering is given, on behalf of all and for all. And we meet him at the narrow gate of Christ's extreme condescension, which is his body and blood. Generally, we incorporate food into something more organized than the food, our bodies. But Christ incorporates us within his immortal organism through our consumption of him. The sentence for a life decoupled from the life of God is enthrallment to the passions and death. A life decoupled from God cannot but be enslaved to sin and the strong man, devil. However, in glorifying Christ, we participate vicariously in the virtue and strength of a hero through exaltation of that hero. Through adoring Christ's passionless passion, we are enthralled, enslaved, by a power figure who was voluntarily enslaved on our behalf. No man can heal himself. Christ did what we could not, for how could we vanquish the vampire to whom we had volunteered our necks? Only Christ could vanquish our master and join us mortals to his immortality. Yet death must run its course, until all that remains is the remedy of that life which death cannot claim as its own. This is the Golgotha for the hermeneutically malformed and uninitiated intelligence. Through Christ's bloodless sacrifice, God passes over and blots out the handwriting of the debt which is against us. In this way, Christ gives us the life that cannot die, the assurance that all the evil within us will wither on the vine, leaving the seeds of the kingdom in its place. Our work is zeal for the hero in whom we find our longings fulfilled. He does the rest. The organic process by which this takes place is adoration of him. Our work is to cease glorifying other things and be assumed by Christ, such that we taste the new creation now. We glorify Christ by imitating the death he died for the sake of our life, and by a gradual internal change, we pass into his life. We live in him. Through baptism we are born. Through chrism we receive breath and movement. Through communion we receive body and blood, nourishment. It is through the mysteries that we imitate those aspects of Christ's immortal actions on our behalf that draw us into his life. Through birth, breath, and supersubstantial bread, Christ commingles his life with our own. By his acts of heroism, we are given a hero who imparts his victory to us by means of our glorification of him. Since we cannot serve two masters, the elevation of our hero coincides with the trampling down of that vampire whose place is taken by Christ. Thus, right glorification is how we are transformed and how the devil is defeated in our lives.